Christian McCaffrey has signed a new deal that makes him the highest paid running back in NFL history. He signs a 4-year extension with the Panthers, and this is worth about $16 million a year. And this is coming off from a very, very successful first 3 seasons in the league. So a couple ones, he has 2,523 receiving yards, and that's the most ever by a running back. And alongside that, he has 303 catches. That is the second most ever by a running back. And Blake, so what's your thoughts on this contract, man? Overpaid, underpaid? Is it even going to last, really?
I think he's setting the market, which is exactly what the best player at a position should do. I don't think he's being overpaid. I don't think he's being underpaid. I think he's doing exactly what the best player at a certain position is supposed to do year to year. When it's your time when you're a high-level elite player and your contract is up, you're going to get the most money possible because that's your profession, right? It doesn't make sense to me the people that try to put, their wants and their needs over these players. They're trying to provide for their family. They're only here for an average of 3 years. I'm sure everyone's heard the same spiel that I'm giving. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, think about it. Christian McCaffrey, every time that he holds that ball, he's getting hit. And he's getting hit by guys that are 250 pounds plus. He deserves every single penny that he's going to be getting, considering how phenomenal he is with that ball in his hands. He catches, he runs, he blocks.
One of the most dynamic players in the league.
He can play slot, he can play X, he can play Y, he can play Z, he can play everything. I mean, yeah, give him money. He is their Swiss Army knife. He is their best offensive player. He's worth every single penny, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's rock solid. I think this is the contract he deserves. This is a guy that has been playing out of his mind, and the only success that the Panthers have had over the last season or two, they can all be that success can all be attributed to Christian McCaffrey. He's carrying that team almost single-handedly, man. If they didn't have him, the Panthers would be nothing. They'd be absolutely nothing, especially with the injured Cam Newton, or a Cam Newton that wasn't even playing most of last season as well. What the problem with this, though, is that is it going to last? Is this contract really going to be worth it? Is he still even going to be a Panther at the end of this 4 years? These are some of the contracts you see, especially for guys like running backs, not like franchise players like quarterbacks, but like running backs. A lot of time you see stuff like this. You see big contracts that end up being too much for the team, and these are the kind of contracts that get traded away to other teams so you can get rid of the cap hit, and so you can rebuild with another player, especially a volatile position like the running back. I think the running back position has never really lasted. I read something a number of years ago saying like the average lifespan of an NFL running back was maybe 6 years. Of a good running back was 6 years. That's nothing. Christian McCaffrey's already played 3. With this extra contract, he's going to have 7. So he's going to be going over that average. And with running backs recently, let's look at David Johnson. Let's look at Todd Gurley. These are guys that pretty much were one-hit wonders. And they signed big contracts and never really lived up to that contract, never really lived up to the hype after that one amazing season. Christian McCaffrey has had 3 amazing seasons, especially this most amazing season being the last one. But, man, I got a question. And it might be bold, but I'm just going to say Christian McCaffrey is not going to be finishing this contract as a Panther. He's going to be on a different team before this contract's over. And that might be attributed to the Panthers' lack of maybe trying to find the word, maybe planning, maybe future success. I don't think they'll be able to afford this contract in the few years.
You don't think he's gonna play out this contract?
No, I think they'll trade him away before this contract expires. I think it'll end up being too much of a burden on that team. I really do.
I think you're crazy. You need to wash your mouth out with soap.
You're not the only one that thinks I'm crazy. And it's nothing about Christian McCaffrey as well, because, man, I love Christian McCaffrey. I was on the hype train ever since he left Stanford, when he was still with Stanford, when he has the Pac-12 career record for yards from scrimmage. There's a lot of guys saying, oh, he's undersized. Oh, he's just a quick back. He's not going to be able to last in the NFL. I call BS on all those claims, and he's only proving all those haters and all those naysayers wrong. Because man, you don't realize how bad I wanted Christian McCaffrey to be somehow drafted by the Broncos, joining Ed McCaffrey, his dad, in Denver. You had no idea how bad I wanted that to happen, but I knew it was unlikely, and it ended up being unlikely. But, man, I know Christian McCaffrey's a beast. He's the best running back in the league. He's the best fantasy football player in the league for those that care about that.
I mean, you bring up good points, but I just don't see why they're going to want to move away from a guy that's going to continue being so solid. Like you bring up guys that have seen a sharp decline with David Johnson and Todd Gurley, but McCaffrey is just now hitting his prime. He's just now hitting, his peak of performance.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no reason for me to think that he's going to be, not finishing this deal out in Carolina. There's no reason.
No, it for me, my point is it's no criticism on Cam Newton, or I'm sorry, Christian McCaffrey.
No, I'm not criticizing him.
No.
Either.
All the criticism is I'm just saying that the franchise, the Panthers, they're just going to screw it up.
There's just no reason.
I don't have faith in the Panthers.
That's what
exactly.
I'm saying.
That's the thing.
There's no reason for the Panthers to want to even try to get rid of him. Do you understand? Like, he is the face of their franchise, Ross. They're not going to trade away the face of their franchise when they're in Carolina.
I don't trust the Panthers.
Cam Newton is no longer in Carolina. Until they get another guy that is on McCaffrey's level, McCaffrey is going nowhere. He is untouchable. He is their Michael Jordan.
We all thought that for Cam Newton, and we see how quickly that relationship declined. And Blake, I'm okay with that, dog. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think that is ludicrous that you think that they would trade away their cash cow.
I wouldn't put it past him.
How many white running backs are in the NFL, Ross?
Are we counting fullbacks?
No. How many white running backs are in the NFL?
Off the top of my head, I think there's I can name one.
Which is?
Christian McCaffrey.
Okay. So we can go to the next subject now.